Hey, what's up guys and welcome to part 15 of What If Naruto was given abilities by 4 devils. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto had Cosmic Energy over on Anime King 3. And also I post a new episode of What If Naruto was too advanced for his age over on Anime King 2. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2 and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto's great ancestor was the one that wiped out the A.G.E, leaving only 3 members. But they weren't so concerned with that at the moment, as they were currently making their way toward the Amazon island, as the Kaibi was using his sense of tracking the Nibe to find the location. They were attacked by a sea creature, which they had to face off against, as they then met one of the Amazons, as these ladies reeled in like man. Well, unless you prove yourself and show that you were actually worthy. Other than that, they hated man. Going there, the leader of the tribe invited them all in, as Naruto was attacked that night, as given his attitude and not really caring about what they think or really feel, he was attacked, but Naruto didn't really care anyway, as he was easily able to shrug them off. But next morning something happened when they were to leave. The island was attacked by Orochimaru lackeys, as Naruto and Lee rushed off to make their way out there, as Lee went off to face off against Kimimaro, as Naruto faced off against the other members of the Zone 4. It was then that the girls gained a new admiration for Naruto, as they saw him brutally and quickly put all the members of the Zone 4 in their place. They didn't even stand a chance. Back at the village, Satoshi came to Sasuke, as the man had offered Sasuke the power that he wanted. When Sasuke finally woke up, he felt different, as he was imbued with so much power, he felt literally unstoppable. As he remembered the humiliating defeat that Naruto gave to him, and not to mention, he was suspended. As Sasuke see no other reason to stay at this village anymore, it's time that he move on. And Satoshi had already told him that he will make sure that he gains more power, as long as they join him. As Sasuke seeing power there, he decided to join the man. And he was going to leave this village, as Naruto and the group came back to the village with the Jinchurikis. Naruto didn't know that Sasuke was out to kill him right now. Well, he always knew that Sasuke didn't like him, but now, with his personality and everything warped by the power, his mind being overrun, thinking that he's unstoppable, he's gonna try and kill Naruto very soon. So yeah guys, that's basically what I thought. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? At the moment, Naruto looked towards Sasuke who was on the ground, as Naruto was smirking, but that smirk was instantly wiped off his face, as a sword pierced his back and burst through his stomach, as Naruto dropped and coughed up blood. As he slowly turned his head to see that it was Todoroki, the man that he fought on Devil Islands all those months ago, was the one holding on to the blade. The man said nothing as he drove the blade within deeper, causing rebellion to drop from Naruto's hand as blood leaked from his mouth. Todoroki then ripped the blade out, causing Naruto to land face first. "You did well, my descendant. However, I still need the Uchiha, and I can't let you interfere." As Todoroki walked over to Sasuke, who was slowly picking himself up in pain. "What took you so long?" As Sasuke could barely stand, and Todoroki placed hand on his shoulder and transferred some of his chakra into the boy, so he could move and walk. "Do not worry about my timing, just prepare for what is in store for your future." As he turned to see Naruto stern, as Naruto pushed himself up back on his feet. "You bastard. What are you doing here? It appears that once more I underestimated you. It seems you have quite the control over your powers. However, the reason I'm here is simple really. I can't allow you to kill Sasuke, he's needed. As Sasuke shot forward, as he took advantage of Naruto's weakened state as he drove a Shidori right through Naruto. A smirk was on Sasuke's face. Too bad you will be dead before you see what I can accomplish. Naruto staggered but he didn't fall, as he stood his ground. Still standing, I'm impressed. Sodiki picked up Naruto's Rebellion blade and stabbed it through Naruto, as he then tipped Naruto off. Naruto started to fall, as he slammed into the water. The last thing he saw was Sodiki's smirk and Sasuke as well, as he sank into the depths of the water. Flashback, 2 days ago. Well, here we are guys. Konoha. Naruto said with the girls behind him looking at the place in wonder, as it took less than an hour to arrive in the village. After all, the dragons are extremely fast. The 3 girls were amazed by the architecture of the village. They were sure that they were going to like it here, especially with the white-haired Genin, as Yujito has been eyeing him ever since they were saved by him, as they saw him fight so wonderfully, putting himself on the line to protect them. Upon arriving at the house, Naruto was tackled by Hinata as Kin jumped right into Lee's arms and started to kiss him. I missed you, he said, after they break the kiss. And I bet I missed you more. Now, you, me, bedroom. Immediately. As Lee didn't need to be asked twice, as he rushed towards the bedroom with her in his arms. Not before Kin placed a do not disturb sign on the bedroom door. As Naruto got off the ground, the guy has been back for barely an hour, he said. You know, I think they will have 20 kids before they hit 40. His lips was assaulted by a kiss from Hinata. Don't think that Kin and Lee will have all the fun in this house, he's been gone for so long. It's time for us to have some alone time, she said, as she pulled him away. Time skip. As the group was now gathered after a couple of hours. As Naruto was sitting on the floor, as his back was leaned up against the couch with Hinata, was sitting right behind him, her hand going through his hair. As Kin and Lee was sitting on the other couch, with Seisumi, Yujito, and Fu sitting on the couches as well. Haku wasn't here, she was running some errands. And Anko was resting up from the mission. And Tenten had yet to return from her mission. After briefing them what happened, all of them turned towards the Amazonian warriors. So, said Hinata, do you guys like females? Ever since starting to date Naruto, she had become so straightforward and not blushing. She just asked what was on her mind. Not even a hint of blush or she was stuttering. Actually, said Yujito, she was one that answered. We aren't into the whole Amazonian thing when mating is concerned. We still like men, but it was all female. And something like that can hold influence over you in that department. But that didn't mean that they still didn't like man, as she glanced towards Naruto. As Fu glanced towards Lee. Seisumi didn't really do anything, as Naruto noticed that. And just like Hinata, well, he was even worse, not afraid to say what was on his mind. So what you're saying is that you want to get with me, and you want to get with Lee. As he pointed Yujito for himself, both girls blushed brightly, as they looked at each other, before they nodded. As Naruto turned towards Lee, as both of them shrugged. Okay then, welcome to the family. Are you sure, Naruto-kun? I mean, you don't have to say yes just because you want to be nice. Well, it is because she is a vessel for the Nebe, said Naruto, and I'm the vessel for the Kyuubi. He already told them that. And since the Kyuubi keep on bitching that he wants to get with his Nebe-chan, then I guess I might as well give the baby his bottle. He heard a growl in his mind. You know, I'm gonna get you for that. But not now, because I want my Nebe-chan, said the Kyuubi. As Nebe was also going through the same thing. Well, kitten, get with him immediately. No way, I only know him for a day, and you want me to sleep with him? Well, you're withholding me from having time with my Kyuubi-kun. And it's been so long. As Nebe sent a volt through her system, making Yujito stand up. Let me guess. The Nebe want you and I to have sex right now, right? Said Naruto. As the other girls looked at him in surprise. What? You guys have to do that now? But you just met, said Hinata. She wasn't really jealous, after all. She knew that. The other girls were with Naruto as well. But they just met, they didn't even know each other that well. Our Bijus won't shut up until we go at stand loud and feel each other. Since they have access to our senses, they can feel what we feel. And that includes touch. Wait, said Hinata. So what you're saying, whenever we have sex, I'm also doing it with the Kyuubi? Well, in a sense, yes. But you're still getting all me, said Naruto. He just feel what I go through with you. Yujito was blushing as he realized that he wasn't really against it, and Nibe wouldn't stop bothering her until they did it. Alright, fine, Nina said, but you know, I'll be getting you again later tonight, right? Oh, I don't doubt that one bit. As he walked off, Yujito making her way beside him. This was really gonna happen, so quick. They just met each other. Well, she might as well enjoy her time. Time skip, as Naruto made his way towards the Konoha interrogation building. It was time to pass the news on to someone that they were now, well, released. He had to convince the girl to join the Leaf, or get the death trial for her crimes. After all, she was assisting a S-rank missing nin of Konoha, with the attempt of trying to murder the third Hokage, and also helping in the invasion. With all that together, she was either looking at 3 life sentences, or death. Her name was Teiwaya, the only person they managed to capture in Orochimaru invasion plan. He visited her once, and let's just say she wasn't really pleasant. So she was given time to cool off, and she was told about the deal, and knew it was time to see if she would accept it or not. As Uncle and Ibiki leading towards the room, where the girl was inside, she was completely naked. When he asked about this, it was because they didn't want them to hide any weapon in their clothing, as prisoners like these always tend to take their life. As Naruto entered, "So, how goes that life, Teiwaya-chan? Did you sleep well?" It was a sarcastic mark on his end, but he realized that she didn't move and just came in, so he had to make sure she was still alive. After all, the cell was locked up tight. There wasn't anything in here that could take your life, but, well, there are other ways. She lifted her head slowly. "Oh, I slept like I was on a goddamn cloud," she said. "Plus, you guys have a great taste in clothing, since I've been wearing the exact same thing since I was here." Naruto shrugged as he pulled a chair and sat down in front of her. "Well then, let's cut the bull and get down to business. The reason why it took so long is because I was out on missions, and the Hokage had to be replaced," said Naruto. "And they only trust me with you. But I've digressed from the point. The truth is, I'm here to offer you that deal." "And what happens if I don't take the deal?" she asks. "If you choose not to take the deal, then you'll be treated as a war prisoner, and you'll be placed on trial for several acts that were committed against the village. You'll probably spend 3 life sentences in the village. Well, maximum prison center. And trust me, you don't want that. That was a place that held the worst of the shinobis." "What was that deal again?" she asks. "Well, it's easy. Give us all the information you have on Orochimaru bases, and the number of shinobi that they contain, and any other information that they might ask. You will have freedom to walk in the village and a clean state. But there are several other things you must do to gain your freedom, truly." "And what exactly do I have to do?" she asks. "Well, this freedom is not the freedom that you will gain as a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf, as there was an old law that Hokage pitched about you becoming my personal slave." "What the hell? I ain't becoming no goddamn slave," she said, "for an asshole like you. Or anyone else." "You didn't let me finish. I turned that down. I can do things on my own. I don't need a slave." "So, you got another offer. Become a part of my clan, one of my future wife." "Also," said Naruto before she could say anything, "when I say freedom, it means freedom in other ways, like freedom from that curse mark on your neck." She placed a hand on her neck. Could he really do that, she thought? Free her from this curse mark and the hold that it had on her. "You will also be placed under my home protection in my home. At the moment, these are the best options that you have. So, what's your choice?" As for once, she did something that surprised him. She squirmed a bit under his gaze. She looked down. "Before I answer you, can you tell me something? How can you remove the curse mark?" she asked. "Orochimaru said that this seal will never leave us." "Well, he was lying," said Naruto. "I already did it for that bastard former apprentice. However, to do it, I have to pump demonic chakra through my body and mark you. So in a sense, by you becoming my mate, you'll be free of that mark." She was taken aback by the statement. "Wait, you mean that?" "Yes," said Naruto. "We have to have sex in order for it to vanish." As a small red tint came on her cheeks as she looked towards the ground. Still, she didn't understand. She was the enemy. "Why are you being so nice to me? I never asked for your help. Why out of the blue do you want to help me? I know the other ninjas don't give a crap about me if I live or die. So why you? You might hide it very well by cursing and acting all tough, but I know you've been through a lot. And I like you. So what do you say? Yes or nay?" "Alright, fine, I'll take the deal." Naruto got up with a smile on his face. "Alright, and since we're gonna become lovers, I just have to say, damn, you're hot as hell," said Naruto. "I mean, damn," he said, as that caused her to blush. He pulled out a scroll and gave it to her. There's some new clothes inside. I'll be waiting for you, he said. Meanwhile, at the hidden sound, it's time for us to make our move and bring in Sasuke, said Suki. As he faced his two subordinates, they were the two shinobis that fought with Kabuto in the tournament but lost. Both of them were punished severely by Orochimaru, as the curse mark was placed on them to see if they were worthy of living or dying, and placed on cell to just rot away if they die or survive and become Orochimaru, well, lap dogs. Well, they were these dogs, but more powerful dogs. When they finally was released, they were shocked to find that Orochimaru was dead, but not also Orochimaru but Kabuto as well, and also Kimimaro by this man. When asked, the man only smirked at them. So, Sodiki-sama, what is it that you wish for us to do? Yuri asks. Sodiki opened up his hand to show two large white orbs. The orbs crack and burst, showing two weapons that Sodiki now held. On his right hand was a pair of gauntlets with large blue-eyed spears surrounding it. The second one was another gauntlet, but it had the image of a spider wrapped around his arms. These are new weapons called Ice Fang and Magma Stain. They will give you power beyond your own imagination, and they will be a great help towards the cause, said Sodiki as the weapons flashed from his hand and slammed into both of their chests. The both of them gasped, but it didn't hurt them as it went inside their body. But then the pain came, and a lot of it came. Blood-curdling screams escaped their lips as a light blue aura appeared over Yuri, and a dark red-orange mixture appeared over Mitsumi. The chakra started to swirl around them until both of them were encaged in a swirl of ice and the other one a swirl of magma. As it went on for a while with them screaming on top of their lungs, Sodiki simply smirked as they were undergoing a metamorphosis that he was using them for. Little did they know, they were just simple pawns in a theory that he's been, well, trying to test for a long while. He always wondered what would happen if he fused a human being with a little amount of devil chakra with a devil arm. He tried this before, but they either decay from within or explode. Once that happened, he chose to pause in that theory, but it was then that Orochimaru came to him with the idea of creating the curse seals. The seals that have a bit of devil chakra within them, and then it started to combine with the user's chakra to give them a full amount. This was when it gave Sodiki an idea. What if the human already have devil chakra before the devil arm was added in? The idea was tempting and knew that he will need time to do it. As such, he gave Orochimaru that idea for his immortality jutsu, and that gave him a lot of time. He marked many people off the curse mark, and that gave Sodiki so much test subjects. While many died, a large amount to survive and show the excellence of the experiment. He then watched as the magma and the ice started to crack. It exploded right in front of him as a dark shroud came up and blocked all projectiles just tried to hit him as he just stood there with a smirk. As Yuri stepped on the ground, with each step that he took, it froze. His skin was now pale with the very air itself freezing off his body. His eyes were baby blue with a white hue in his eyes. Mitsumi, every step that he took, part of the floor melted a bit with the intense heat of the magma. His eyes were red and orange, same as his skin. As this was the result of his experiment, Devil Arm rebirthed. So boys, tell me, how do you feel? He asked. Mitsumi looked at Sodiki like the world is ready to bow down to the heat. Sodiki released a small laugh. Yes, you two are indeed worthy of the power. But first, I want you to prove yourself. What do you ask of us, master? Said Yuri. As Sodiki held out his arm, as a black mass of shadows started to gather behind him. I want you two to go to Konoha and bring me Sasuke Uchiha. However, I know what the villagers do. They will send my descendants after you to retrieve the Uchiha. So instead, I'll be sending you with an old friend of yours. Kabuto then appeared out of the dark mass. Wasn't he dead? He looked nothing like he did before. He had pale skin with cracks going all over his body, with gold, silted eyes, and there were 3 snakes coming from his back and moving on their own. Each snake had different color. The right one, gold, the middle one, brown, and the left one, purple. Sodiki-sama, how is Kabuto alive? I thought you killed him months ago, said Yuri. Sodiki smirked at that. No, that was merely a clone. You see, Orochimaru always believed that Kabuto was his faithful servant, but in reality, he's mine. I had him use a clone to pose as himself when they went to get Tsunade. Once my descendant killed him, that clone was destroyed, but this is the real Kabuto. I have long since given the DNA of Orochimaru to work on himself. And this is what happened to him. He undergo a metamorphosis, just like the both of you did. And this is the result. As Kabuto smirked at his master, "Thank you, Sugiki-sama. I shall do all that you ask of me, and I shall use the power that you have given me." As Yoroi and Misumi nodded, they would do as well. As Sugiki smirked up a storm, "I know that you will, but here's something that will be a great help to you." As Sugiki summoned a weapon, it was a javelin. He gave the blade staff to Kabuto as Kabuto felt lightning coursing through his veins. And that made him feel powerful. "Now go, retrieve the Uchiha." And with that, they were gone, making their way. Back at Konoha, Sasuke was in the hospital bed with a blank look on his face. Sakura was making sure that he was okay. Something was different about him. It was like he was anxious for something, and he was just counting in seconds until what he wanted arrived. Their intention then turned towards the door, as Naruto walked in. "Hey there, Duckhead. How are you holding up?" Sasuke glared at him before his eyes fell on Naruto's vest. "That Jonin vest. They promoted you? These losers! Half stupid, idiotic people promoted him to be a Jonin, while him, the superior one, was still bed rest and on suspension?" Naruto caught on to Sasuke's jealousy and decided to feed on it. "Yeah, they saw the way I kicked your ass all over the stadium, and they rewarded me for it. Lucky they stopped me from killing you though." Sakura saw it and stood from her chair as she got between them. "Naruto, please don't say things like that. You know how Sasuke gets." The two of them ignored her though. As Sasuke got up from his bed, "Dope, fight me now," he said. As Sakura turned, "What? Sasuke-kun, you're in no condition to..." He shoved her out of the way as she was shoved right back into her seat. As Sasuke glared at Naruto, Sakura lowered her head as she knew that Team 7 was gone. Yes, it was already made official, but now everything started to sink in completely, as she knew they would never be friends. And they would fight without anything holding them back, and one of them might get seriously hurt, or worse. "Are you sure about that? After all, I kicked your ass just recently at June exams. Do you really want me to humiliate you again?" Naruto asked. "That fight didn't count, dope. I want a real fight. No nerf. No rule. Just fight for real," Sasuke said. "Fine then, if that is what you want. Let's take this to a more open area." As Naruto made his way towards a roof with Sasuke hot on his trail, Sakura quickly made her way up there as well. If it becomes too bad, she had to stop them. As Naruto saw the smirk on Sasuke's face. "So, not gonna put on your headband?" he asked. "I don't need the headband. Plus, you won't even land a single scratch on my forehead," said Sasuke. Naruto laughed. "Well then, I guess I should even it up." As he removed his headband and placed it in his coat pocket. As Sakura looked at Naruto in confusion, what was he trying to do? What was he trying to prove? "What are you doing, dope?" Sasuke said. "Isn't it obvious?" said Naruto. "Since you want an unsanctioned fight, then you shall receive one from me. When you wear your headband, you're acknowledging that you're equal to everyone in the village that you serve. But when that tie is removed, you don't hold any bond with anyone in the village. And you are no longer equal. We are far from being equals. And I have no plan of being an equal of you, your friend or teammate." Naruto moved his coat and tossed it to the side. Sasuke simply smirked as he activated his Sharingan. "Oh, trust me when I tell you this, loser. We were never equals to begin with." As he shot forward, as he sent a spinning kick towards Naruto's head, only for Naruto to grab his leg and toss him straight towards the gate. Sasuke grabbed the gate as he launched himself off it, as the both of them smashed their fists together. As they locked eyes, as they saw the hatred and disgust they held for each other. As Naruto grabbed Sasuke's arm and threw him in the air, Sasuke flipped in mid-air so it was upright. As Sasuke held out his arm after going through hand sign, as Naruto held out his arm as well. Sakura looked on in pure fear as she saw both of them held out their best jutsus. Sakura felt a tear drop come on her cheek as she continued to watch the fight in front of her. Why were they like this, always fighting their problems and not resolving issues? They were supposed to be friends and teammates, yet they were trying to kill each other. She needs to stop this. She needs to get Team 7 to stop fighting, otherwise Team 7 will become a distant memory. As she ran towards the two boys, who were heading towards one another, who had no plans of stopping soon. She was about to reach them, but a blur passed her and pulled her back from the altercation. Rasengan Shidori! Their attacks slammed into each other. The attack sent the both of them sailing away, as Naruto flew and hit the side gate hard. As Sasuke slammed into one of the water tanks, completely blowing it apart as water sprayed everywhere. Naruto instantly ripped himself out of the gate. Not done, and Sasuke pulled himself from the water tank. They each glare as they charge forward, only to be grabbed by Kakashi on their shoulders. "Just what the hell do you two think you're doing?" Do you realize that you almost killed Sakura with your recklessness? As the both of them turned to see Sakura holding her arms to her chest. Please, Naruto, Sasuke, stop fighting. Nothing good will come out of it when two friends fight. Naruto scoffed. No way, Haruno. I will never stoop so low as to become friends with the Uchiha. As Naruto batted, Kakashi hand off his shoulder. I know that you want to kill me, said Naruto, shocking Sakura. And the next time we fight, there will be no holding back. There will be none to stop it, because one of us is going to kill each other. And I want you to bring everything you have in that dark heart of yours. Bring your anger, your pain, and your hatred and prepare for a war, because I'll be ready when time comes. As Naruto walked over towards where his jacket was, Sakura ran off crying, as she couldn't take it anymore, as Naruto leaped off the roof. Kakashi sighed as Sasuke jumped away as well. He ran his hand through his hair and looked up at the sky. Seems like I'm truly a favor, huh, Sensei? Said Kakashi as he poofed away in the smoke. Little did they know this was the last time that Team 7 would ever be together. Later on that night, Sasuke packed everything that he knew that he would be needing. This was something he wanted to do, and he had to do if he was going to end Naruto and his brother. This place was holding him back, and he wasn't going to allow that to happen anymore. If that loser can get that type of power, then so can I. After all, he's not the only person that's a strong teacher that is prepared to give him power. As he placed his bag on his back and he started to walk out of the door. As he walked, he spared one last glance at the place that was once his heaven and his personal hell. He took a long look as he walked away. He did not even notice a single tear trailing down his face. 3 figures then dropped in front of him. He didn't even flinch an inch. Not every day you get a welcoming crew for power. As he recognized the 2 of them as the one that fought in the exam, and one of the 3 snakes looking like Kabuto. You guys look different from before. What happened? Kabuto smirked. It's a result of what Tsuriki-sama can give onto you for your loyalty. As Sasuke whistled slightly, that's quite the power boost. It is almost like your power level has doubled last time I seen you. Call it a metamorphosis of sorts. They guarantee power increase. However, I need you to leave through the front gate. It will be harder escaping from here, said Kabuto. As Sasuke nodded. As Kabuto vanished in a wind storm, Yuri vanished in a burst of ice, and Musume melted away in a pool of lava. Damn, that's pretty cool, said Sasuke as he made his way. Later on, Sakura could be seen walking towards Sasuke's house with a look of determination on her face. This is it, she was going to do it. She was going to reunite her team by first telling Sasuke how she felt. She knew that she was taking a big gamble with this, but she no longer cared. As she spent the entire day searching her feelings, but she didn't know why, but it wasn't as strong as before. But after this was done, she would go to Naruto and she would try to be his friend. But why did the thought of going to Naruto appeal to her more? She didn't know why. As she made her way, she paused and she saw Sasuke a distance away from his home. Sasuke-kun, she said, getting his attention. As she ran over with a smile on her face. That was until she saw the bag. Sasuke-kun, what's going on? Why does it look like you're leaving? Because I am, he said. Her eyes widened. What? But you can't do that. This is your home, this is where you belong. He scoffed at that. As far as I am concerned, I have nothing to gain in this village. But all of your friends are here, plus the power of your clan is here, she said. I don't have any friends. And at this so-called power of my clan, it's useless. Everything in my clan home has been destroyed except for the clan techniques. And even they are useless. I need to leave this place if I want to become stronger. As Sakura started to cry, she had to tell him she could make him leave. Sasuke-kun, please don't leave me. I love you, she said. As her tears flow freely. Please, Sasuke-kun, I love you so much that it kills me inside. If you leave me, I will just die missing you. So please stay here and be with me. If you stay, I'll make sure everything will be a joy for you. And the next will be better than last. I'll handle everything for you so you don't have to worry about anything anymore. And you'll become far better than your brother. I'll even help you with your revenge if you want. And if you still wish to leave, please take me with you. Please, Sasuke, I beg you. Just don't leave me alone, she said. But he was gone in a flash. It was then that she felt 2 comforting arms wrapped around her in a hug from behind. Thank you, Sakura. If anything, I can call you my one and only true friend. She calmed down a bit, only to feel something hit her in the back. As she started to fall, the last thing she saw was Sasuke's eyes. When Sasuke saw she was out like a light, he placed her on the chair nearby. As he made his way towards the gate, at the moment, the only thing was on his mind was ultimate power, not staying here. The next day, and that is what happened. I am trusting the 7 of you with this mission, said Snaddy as she looked towards Naruto, Neji, Lee, Shino, Kiba, and Choji and Shikamaru, as all of them were rather pissed off that Sasuke left the village, especially on their day off. We will bring the Uchiha back, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. Naruto, said Snazzy, as Naruto turned to face her. Be careful. Don't worry, Snazzy-chan, he said. I'll be coming right back with a victory in hand. And with that, they made their way. As the group arrived at the front gate. Okay guys, we're going to be going after the Uchiha and his flunkies, since knowing Orochimaru, he would send some of his subordinates to get little prick to his village. We will be traveling in a formation with Kiba at the front, with Shino being behind him. Shikamaru shall take the third position with me taking the center. Lee, you shall take your place behind me, along with Choji behind you, and Neji at the rear. If we encounter the enemy, I want 2 fighting units. From this point on, Sasuke Uchiha will no longer be considered a Konoha shinobi. He is now a mutanin that can either be brought back or killed. Don't let your guard down for a moment, and don't allow yourself to slip. And with that, they made their way. Sakura had overheard everything, as tears were streaming down her face. It looks like Naruto was right again. One of them was not returned to the village alive. Time skip. Kiba had managed to get a scent, and everyone was making their way. It was faint, but that was probably because they were traveling overnight. Neji located 3 figures in front of them, but none of them had Sasuke outlined. It must be an ambush. But suddenly, move, said Naruto, as they all scattered aside a large ball of magma, took out several of the surrounding trees. As Naruto landed along with his teammates, everyone alright, he asked. What the hell was that? It almost took us out, said Kiba, as he was confused what the hell that was. As he sniffed the air, he could smell the burning sensation. All of you, move now, said Naruto as he pulled out Reaper and Angel, as he started to blast ice spears that came raining down on them. Another massive orb of magma was coming, as Naruto summoned Rebellion in a leap. He sliced it in half. The 2 halves tear right through the tree, as it burned into nothing but crypts. Guys, regroup, said Naruto, as his teammates returned back to the formation as they charged forward. More ice spears came as Neji leaped. He landed on a tree branch as he preformed the rotation right there. The tree branch broke, but he was able to block all of them. Another giant magma ball came at them, but Lee and Naruto shot for it and sliced it into pieces. They continued the process until they reached the area where the attack ceased. They looked around, as they heard laughing coming from all around the area. Look at this, it seems the kiddies want to play some ninjas for real. How amusing, a voice said. I guess they'll make new practice for new powers. They might even give us a challenge before we kill them. You sure about that? They don't even look like it can last for a full 10 seconds before they die. I know that, I just want to give them some kind of confidence boost before we kill them, you know? A third voice then spoke that sounded familiar to Naruto. Now you two, be nice, after all we have guests. And one of them is an old friend of mine. Isn't that right, Naruto-kun? Naruto narrowed his eyes to the location. Just how the hell do you know my name? I'm not even in bingo books yet. So tell me, who the hell are you, Naruto asked? The voice sounded like it was hurt. Oh, your words wound me, Naruto-kun, since, after all, you thought you killed me. As a person came to light with his cloak down. As a person lifted up his head, Naruto was confused. Kabuto? It was him, but he looked different. He looked more like Orochimaru now. As Kabuto's 2 teammates revealed themselves as you remember them when they lost their fighting shooting exams. What the hell happened to you, said Naruto. You like it, Kabuto said, as he laughed a little. It's something you earn for giving your loyalty towards Tsurugi-sama. He has brought me a pack I would have never seen under Orochimaru, although Orochimaru was the one that started me on this path though. Wait, Orochimaru is dead, said Naruto. As, from what he was getting from Kabuto, it sounded like that was the deal. After all, this was the apprentice of a sneak. Oh yes, you haven't heard, have you? Orochimaru is no longer with us, Kabuto said. Although I must say I make a better replacement as a snake master. Don't you agree? Oh yeah, said Naruto. That just means I get to make some boots out of snake skin. As he was about to engage until a hand grabbed his shoulder. Naruto, you go on ahead and let us take care of these guys. You have to catch up to Sasuke. Neji said the nod. Yes, Naruto, go ahead, said Lee. After all, you're the only one that deserves to fight Sasuke. He looked at the others as they all gave him a nod. Okay, but don't let them kill you, said Naruto. As all of them gave him another nod. With that, he jumped ahead, slamming his hand in mid-air as he summoned one of his dragons. The massive wing flapped, as there was nothing the enemy could do but try to launch magma balls. But the dragon went straight up and flew over their heads. As the Konoha ninjas started to split up, Shikamaru and Choji went after Yoroi. As they found a perfect clearing, Shikamaru tossed a kunai as Yoroi caught it and froze it. What the hell is that, Shikamaru thought. As Choji went through hand signs for his human boulder technique, as Choji got large and rolled towards Yuri, Yuri simply raised his hand and caught Choji with only one hand. Yuri was slayed a bit, but he stopped himself. As he grabbed onto Choji and twisted him and tossed him towards the tree where Shikamaru was. Is that the best you guys can really do? Huh. It seems that this will be too easy. Not even worth my time, Yuri said. As he raised his hand as spears of ice came out of it, resembling claws, he laughed. He charged forward. Choji, whatever you do, don't let those things touch you, said Shikamaru. As Yuri started to slice, Choji had to jump back as the claws ripped through a tree. Shikamaru noticed that the cut had been frozen over where the tree was sliced. I bet you're wondering what is going on, said Yuri. Well, it's quite simple actually. Not that very difficult to explain. I have the power over ice. My power is so potent in ice that means I can freeze anything I touch, even my feet. Your option is not a way to beat me, but more on how to survive me. Both boys had to jump away as Yuri slammed his fist as spikes jetted out everywhere. Shikamaru threw a kunai with an explosive tag attached to it, but Yuri caught it and froze it over once again. I told you I can freeze everything I touch so weapons are harmless against me. As he held up his right arm and fired ice needles now barraged towards them. The both of them immediately got on defensive as he started to dodge the ice particles. When they ceased, they were only left with scratches, but they were quick to get back on the offensive. Choji went back into his human boulder attack as Shikamaru went on his knees and began his family signature technique. As Shikamaru watched as Choji slammed into Yuri, but Yuri grabbed onto him. It would be too easy to just end you right now. Think I'll have some fun as he tossed Choji over his shoulder, smashing him into the ground. He then realized something. He couldn't move. What the hell? He looked down to see his shadow was connected to Shikamaru's. Shadow possession jutsu. Complete, Shikamaru said. So you're controlling my movements, huh? Well, if I hadn't gotten these powers, I would have been done for. But I can still control my ice engine, like this. As ice started to form around Yuri in a wide circle, Choji had to leap away as the place started to become too cold for him. Shikamaru had to leap back as the entire place became frosty, and the ice spikes were slowly building up as Choji jumped back over to his friend, as Yuri was smirking at them. Is this the best the both of you can do? Because I mean, if it is, you might as well just lie down and die right now. Shikamaru looked at Yuri as his face seemed blank, but he was thinking. As Yuri just smirked, what? Giving up? Choji, Shikamaru said. Yeah? We need to give everything we got against this guy. And I mean everything. Are you sure? You know what will happen if I take those. Shikamaru nodded a sad expression on his face as Choji pulled out a case with 3 pills inside. He remembered what his father told him about the pills. The effects were strong and last for a while, but it was the afterwards what happened to the body. Only Akimichi-kan could handle the power of these pills, while others will die by the weakest of the set. The green spinach pill. If I don't win with this one, then I must take the yellow curry pill and then win. But at all costs, I must never take the red chili pill, unless all hope of victory is gone. I'll have to trust in Shikamaru and trust in his idea to come up with a plan. As Choji popped the first pill, Yuri narrowed his eyes. This should be interesting. Meanwhile, as Shino and Kiba had stayed behind to face off against Misumi, they were having a bad time as well, because Shino bugs kept on getting fried by the lava. Yes, the molten hot lava was quite deadly. Is this all? Said Misumi as he looked at them. I mean, if it is, you're just wasting my time here. He slammed his hand down the ground. Kiba, move! As the both of them separated, as lava burst from the earth, spewing out. Kiba, remember, don't attack him with anything physical, because it can burn you. Yeah, I know, said Kiba. Then what are we supposed to do? At the moment, I don't know. Just be careful, said Shino. As Kiba saw that Shino was stumped on how to really defeat this guy. As Kiba was a taijutsu fighter. Are you two done talking, Misumi said. Because I'm ready to tip this fight up a notch. As his body started to get heated once again, as he started to expel heat from his body. Shino then noticed something. At some point, the heat was almost non-existent. When he manipulated under the earth, his body was normal. But then, he could heat it up and expel heat from his body. That was a good piece of information to know. It was then that Misumi pulled out the gauntlets. Get yourself ready, said Shino. Kiba nodded as he feed Akmar a soldier pill. As Akmar became red, Meanwhile, rotation as Neji spin and skewer an army of snakes. A massive snake then burst out of the ground. Instantly, it was severed into 3 pieces by Lee, who landed its blade in his hand. As Neji fired a palm strike as he exited his rotation, only for Kabuto to slicker away. Kabuto then looked up as Lee came crashing down in the air, forcing him to jump back. 8 palm divination, empty palm, as a blast struck Kabuto into the back, as he was sent into mid-air. 2 pair of arms then wrapped around him. Primary Lotus! Lee slammed Kabuto in the ground with a ferocious quake. As the ground broke and smoke filled everywhere, Lee flipped and landed. Did we get him? Said Neji. No, I don't think he's defeated that easily, said Lee. As Lee was right as Kabuto's body burst into snakes, and it then reformed together. That combo would kill a normal person. After all, they've been going at it for a while now. Their reflex was on point. But after all, Kabuto wasn't a normal person, so that combo couldn't kill him. It seems like you guys are ready to fight all out, but I'm still just getting warmed up. Well, how about we take to a level, said Kabuto, as a dark menace purple chakra swirled around his body. He then held on to the javelin as he spun the blade in his hand before slamming it into the earth. Neji could only look on in surprise at the amount of aura that weapon was expelling, as it was just pure demonic. He quickly went back into his gentle style. I guess it is time for us to up the antics, isn't it, Lee? Lee cracked his neck as he went into his fighting stance. Yes, let's, he said, as both boys charged forward. Back at Konoha, Tsunade was behind her decks, as Shizune was in front of her. Tsunade had something in her hand. It was a gambling ticket. She won. A high stack, and she won. And anytime she won, she knew it was always something with bad omen. Yes, because it was rare for her to win anything. After all, she sucked at gambling, but she won. Are you sure, Tsunade-sama? I mean, what if it's just a stroke of good luck on your part, said Shizune, trying to make her feel better even though she knew as well that Tsunade never really won, and every time she did, it was always a bad omen. You know damn well I can't win alone. When Naruto was there, I always win because the kid is just so lucky. But I won on my own. And as much as I hate to think it, I believe this has something to do with him. It won't happen, Tsunade-sama. After all, this is Naruto we're talking about, and he fight through everything, said Shizune. Tsunade took a deep sigh. I know. I just hope those ninjas get from the sand quickly to help. They then heard a knock on the door. Tsunade told them to come in. It was Sakura who came in, her head down. Hokage-sama, I want to ask you something. Something important, she said. What is it? Although I should warn you, I don't find you on my list of favorites from this village. Sakura looked up. Why? Because Naruto already told me what you did to him in his academy days. And don't bother asking me how I found out. Let's just say you were very close. Okay then. I guess I deserve that. But I want to ask you, would you train me? Tsunade studied the girl's expression for a moment. And what exactly make you think I will teach you, she asked. Naruto also told me that you never took your training seriously before. So why? Now? Because I don't want to be the same weak girl I am anymore. I want people to respect me. And I want Naruto to accept me as his friend. But I won't get that until I'm stronger. As Tsunade looked the pink-haired girl up and down for a moment. I'm not going to lie to you and say you'll get his acknowledgement. However, there's only one way for us to find out. Wait, does that mean? Yes. I'll train you, said Tsunade. Meanwhile, at the Namikaze/Kazuma estate. So, Hinata-chan, tell me, how was Naruto in bed? Asked Kin. As Kin was performing some household duties. As, while her boyfriend was exactly a clean freak, or neither was she didn't really like mess at all. Hinata's face melted into pure enjoyment as she thought. He's wonderful. And you always know how to find your special pleasure points. Well, Lee-kun can do that too, said Ken. While Naruto-kun can go for 15 minutes straight. And I don't mean like 15 minutes and stop. I mean 15 minutes of just non-stop moving. As he had to catch his breath once, and then go on for a very long time after that. Well, when Lee-kun is forceful, he can make you feel things that no one will ever make you feel, said Kin. That's only because Naruto-kun is better at force than he is with speed. Because slow and steady makes the best time. You speak like Naruto is better than Lee. Of course he is. You're wrong. Lee is better. No, Naruto-kun is. No, Lee-kun is. No, Naruto-kun is. Lee-kun is, as the both of them kept on arguing back and front. As Yujito entered the area. Hey, have any of you guys? Both girls turned towards her. Shut up, they said. As the both of them turned back. Naruto-kun is better. Lee-kun is better. Well damn, said Yujito. As she just backed away slowly. Meanwhile, as Yori was being choked to death, as Shikamaru's shadow was wrapping around his throat, as Yori realized these two were quite a deadly combination working together. He needed to give it everything he got if he was truly going to win this. As he started to bring out his full power from the metamorphosis, it was then that Shikamaru and Choji felt it. The both of them had a few cuts and scrapes here and there, but nothing too, well, deadly. But they started to feel a spike in power. As it passed his previous levels, it was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The temperature started to drop. Shikamaru's ice position jutsu was quickly cut as a massive ice, a seal or some sort, surrounded Yori completely, trapping him within. Shikamaru canceled as he moved back, as he took a soldier pill, knowing that he will need everything for this one. Choji was currently on the yellow curry pill. He knew if push come to shove, he's gonna need the red one. Choji, get ready, Shikamaru said, as the ice started to crack. Bam! It burst open with a rush of cold air that made the place even more chilly. As a feet stepped out of the ice, once again, Yori has changed. Long Snow White hair with two horns coming from his head, with another one, more longer than the other two, coming from his center. There was a row of mini spikes on his back, and two large spikes that jetted from his shoulder. His armor encased in ice spears, with 3 spikes on each fist. Now how do you like this, fool, said Yori as he looked around, with a confident smirk on his face. I figured it was time to stop playing and wasting time with you guys. The moment he stepped forward, ice spikes started to form off the ground as both boys stepped back. But suddenly, he was assaulted by a rain of needles as a blade split through his back. He looked behind him slowly to see the blade was held by a puppet. You mind if I crash this party, said a voice, as Konkro was currently in a tree limb, as he brought back his new puppet, Sorcery. He didn't know it happened, but the strongest puppeteer in the world was now dead, and he was in his collection. The man had turned his body into a puppet. 2 puppets were delivered towards Hide-san, the Kazekage the third, and Sorcery. Chio bestowed Sorcery puppet body on him, and she took the third Kazekage for herself. For what reason he did not know. That's Sorcery, said Yori, as he looked at the puppet. How did you get him, he asked. Konkuro simply shrugged. Came the mail one day, saying that I want a free puppet. But I didn't came here to talk. Seems like you guys are having a bit of trouble. Well, I'm here to sort that trouble out, said Konkuro, as he smirked. Yori simply laughed. I guess there'll be 3 dead bodies when I'm done. All frozen over. Before they could continue, they heard a huge explosion. Something that shook the ground. Seems like something more dangerous is going on over there, said Konkuro. How about we finish this up, so we can get to the main event? After all, this guy is a lucky after all. Yori simply smirked as he didn't let the insult get to him. I'll show you lucky when I'm done with you. But guys, we end the episode right here. If you want the next part, be sure to do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto's Too Advanced for His Age and enjoy that. And also, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Had Cosmic Energy, so go ahead and check out that as well guys and enjoy. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.